Hey, 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 beautiful blessed ones. It's your Triple G here, Donna Salee. I am so glad to be here. I had to take a woosah. Okay. It's your Triple G here, Donna Salee, certified transformational life and dream builder coach, motivational and empowerment speaker, workshop and book club facilitator, best-selling author, and the founder of Life Destiny Solutions, where the life you're living connects with the destiny your soul desires to express. I am so happy to have you here on this episode of Women, Wisdom, and Wine. This is a weekly live segment. We get together, us women get together virtually to discuss, and some men, we get together to discuss our experiences with life, healing, growth, transformation. Because I truly believe that if you are alive, you have wisdom to share that can help someone else. That's what this community is all about. If you are new to this segment, I welcome you virtually with open arms. And I ask that you stick around until the end, where I will tell you how you can find out more about me, more about Life Destiny Solutions, and even better, how you can download my free guide, 5 Steps to Begin Living a Life You Truly Love. If you are one of my regulars, my returning guests, you know I welcome y'all. I'm so thankful for your love and support. And we're going to talk about toward the end of the show, because we're coming up on a season finale soon. Even your best shows, have to take a break, right? so, so I want to ask you before we get started. This is Women, Wisdom, and Wine. So I want to know what you're drinking tonight. Now, I took a chance because y'all know I love my red blends, but this is a sweet red blend. Yeah, it's okay. But I'll stick to my not sweets. So y'all go ahead and type in the chat. Let me know where you're coming in from. I see Ty. Hey Ty, welcome. And I'm not sure who this is, but hi, Donna, book club facilitator extraordinaire. So that's somebody from my book club. Just before we get started, I want to tell you that if you are here and you're showing up as Facebook user, like this one is here, you may have to go out and go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and allow them to see your comments so that I can see your name attached to your comments or questions. All right. Okay. All right. So without further ado, let's get this going. All right. We're going to go ahead and get started. We have a special guest tonight, Miss Kelly Ellis Johnson, and she is a U.S. Army vet. She's a mother of 3 beautiful children, and her purpose is to inspire women to become the best version of themselves. She's a former chapter president of the Survivor with Voices nonprofit organization. She is an author. She is an empowerment speaker and a healing coach. In her spare time, she loves to travel and study the Word of God as well as history. And you need history to understand the Word of God sometimes. Hey, all right. So her ultimate goal is to encourage and empower. She is the upcoming author of the fictional book, Finding My Way, The Prodigal Daughter, which is inspired by true events. And she also happens to be my cousin. Let's put our virtual hands together and welcome Miss Kelly Ellis Johnson.
Oh,
Hey, girl. Hey.
how are you, cousin?
I am blessed, cousin. I am so blessed. Thank you
Are
for agreeing to come on the show. First of all, I know you have a busy life as well, and you are a newer author
I
as well.
am
Congratulations! So
doing great
exciting.
to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I know that you are going to go on to write some fictional work. I can't wait for that, by the way.
Right.
Um, and I we have not talked in years. So I want people to know this is definitely unscripted.
Definitely.
Definitely unscripted. Um, and so I just wanted to take a moment before we get into the subject tonight.
Mhm.
Um, and just kind of find out from you what besides your authoring. I know that you've had a lot going on. Tell me a little bit first of all about this Survivor with Voices nonprofit organization.
So the Survivors with Voices nonprofit organization was actually founded by my best friend and CEO, Alyssa R. Jones. Um, she is a survivor in many areas of her life. And years ago, she asked me to be a part of the Ohio chapter. She had different chapters in different states. It's called, again, Survivors with Voices, and it uh, basically empowered women as well to be victorious and not victims, to expose their bandages and be free. Because
Yes.
as a survivor yourself of different things, that when you put it in or you expose it, it can no longer control you. It can no
That's
longer
right.
you know,
You
bring you
dis you you
in.
disempower it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, you take away
So
its power.
was
Yeah.
empowering women and disempowering the shame and the things that can come with sometimes things that we have gone
Yes,
through.
absolutely. That's awesome. So let's go ahead and jump into our I'm going to turn you up a little bit. Let's go ahead and jump into our subject. So um I'll let you talk about where lessons and blessings came from and talk a little bit about let's just have a conversation.
Oh, sounds good. So, lessons and blessings came from, I had a friend and mentor who was writing a book, and something just nudged me because I had been starting my book that I'm working on, Finding My Way, the Prodigal Daughter, and it, I was just sitting on it, to be with you, not being totally serious, knowing that I had wanted to write, but just hadn't had the to do it. And so she was talking about she was looking for a collaboration, and I said, you know what, I'm going to do it. I trust this woman,
Yeah.
Stacy Bryant, Coach Stacy, and I
Yes.
said she's believed in me from since I think we've been rocking since 2014. Jennifer Brown introduced us, and I said, you know what, I trust her, and it came across me. It's time for me to do, because how do we can have dreams, we can have vision, but without action, there is nothing. So it was
That's right.
time to put some action behind it. So it was really hard because I have so much to say that. And so I understand that there's a time and a season for everything. So the biggest thing for me is because I am a single woman right now who is focusing on dating, and dating as a Christian woman, and not so much as someone, as we may see sometimes in regular dating, just having
Hmm.
values and trying to uphold different values. um,
Yes.
and I wanted to kind of give that journey that I had from not being that woman who was not looking for a God-fearing man, who was, just out to have fun, trying to mask her pain and shame, shame and different things that she went through in life. Uh,
Yes.
to come to this moment to where she is this God-fearing woman and can actually stand, because there was always a love for the Lord. So I don't want anybody to get that twisted.
Right,
But
absolutely.
I just was not living up to my fullest potential in God. So
Okay.
I said, you know what? I'll write about relationships because I'm very strong about that, very passionate about that. And I felt like I wanted to help some other women along that journey, regardless. You don't have to feel you have to settle. You don't have to feel trapped. You can make a mistake in a relationship, choose the wrong man. That don't mean you stay there for years and years.
That's right.
You move and you grow. And
Yeah.
that's where it came from. Life is full of lessons and blessings. So in those relationships, and had some bad relationships along the way, and I'm not putting it on anybody because I'm totally in belief of being self-aware, self-esteem.
Yes.
At the end of
Yes.
the day, you're never responsible for anybody's decisions but yours. You
That's
can't
right.
choose people,
Right.
you can't make people do things, but you can control what you do.
Yeah.
So with that being said, as I walked through these different relationships, I learned along the way because I was seeing cycles, cousin. I was seeing cycles, and I was saying, what if you want to do better? You gotta think better. Everything starts
Right.
mind. So I began to ask God to change my mindset, change the type
Yeah.
of that I'm attracted to, change my heart and what I look at as what's important in a man. And so as I prayed those things, God began to give me a vision of what I wanted my husband to look like. Because again, I'm no longer dating casually, no casual sex. I'm dating
Right.
attention. I'm, uh, you know, trying to, live as a godly Christian woman,
Yes.
feel my purpose here on this earth. I began to be purpose driven, and
Yeah.
those were one of the first things that I dealt with, because it's not just even relationships with men; it was with women too. So relation,
Yes.
it's both ways. I know my Apostle Terry W. Stevens. He always talks about. Relationships are an exchange. Him and Lady J, his wife, they talk about
Yes.
relationships being an exchange, and so that was very important to me because and I'm just going with the flow too, because I'm going
No, it's okay. It's okay. Because what I was going to ask you is let's kind of talk about both sides. Let's focus on each side separately because this being women, wisdom, and wine, one of the things that really stuck that one of the things throughout the years that I've thought about with women, just from my personal experiences and things I've observed, is that, you know, women we have so much to offer the world. Okay. However, we're always, a lot of times, we're taught to be in competition with one another
right.
when there doesn't need to be a competition because you have your gifts and call. The Bible says that gifts and callings come without repentance. So whether you live in a Christian life, whether or not, when you came here with gifts and callings. And so really, it's all about us finding our purpose and walking in that.
Yes.
And when you're focusing on that, you don't have time for all this competition and bickering
No.
and whatever. Because, then we'll say, well, what God has for me is for me, but we don't realize what we're really saying. What I'm saying is that I don't need to compete with you. We can both be coaches in the same field, but you're going to reach your audience who you're meant to reach. I'm going to reach my audience who I'm meant to reach. So whatever it is we do, so I really want us women, I really wanted, even through this, us women to have a place to come together and just share our lessons and our blessings. You
That's
know what I'm saying? So
right. Those two-
let's, yeah. So let's talk about the relationships first, as far as the intimate relationship, the male female relationships, and then let's talk a little bit about the woman to woman relationships. I'd like to, because I know that's a little different.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So go ahead and share with me some of it. I tell you what, if you can think of maybe like your top three things,
Hmm.
if you were talking to young women and you were sharing, um the top 3 things that you would share with them, lessons that you've learned with dating,
Mm-hmm.
then to now. What do you think some of those would be? What do you think those would be?
I actually, what my top thing that I would say, and that I gleaned from all of the things that I've been through, is I will never again look to someone else to satisfy my happiness, to bring me happiness. I learned that that's putting too much power in someone's hand, and I would never again give a person, a human being, that type of power. Okay,
Yes.
happiness starts with you,
Yeah.
and it begins with you. And until you are happy and you're comfortable in yourself and with yourself,
Yes.
I don't think you'll begin to even attract the type of mate that you need. So
Yes.
that would be one of the biggest things. I just want women to understand that you are a queen. You are the prize. And in this culture, in this day and age, we're made to feel like we have to compete with each other for men, and women stepping on each other's toes. That's not who God has for you. And if a man has integrity and he walks in integrity, he wouldn't put you through that.
That's
So
right.
we're looking for men that are intentional and men with integrity. If
Yes.
we're wanting to see different results,
Yes.
because I
Yes.
believe that there's happiness out there. I do believe that there are men with integrity and with intention. Um,
Yes.
and you have to make sure that you're in a place where you can attract that type of person.
Right. So in other words, you attract what you are.
Yes. Yes.
So
Um,
there's that.
and I and that's
And I
just
think
true.
a lot of times we don't we don't understand that,
Mhm.
when we're in the midst of the situationship. you know, we
That-
don't realize that this person, first of all, we attract, there's something in me that's drawing that. That's number 1. And
Woo!
number 2, there's some way that I am teaching them that the way they're treating me is okay.
Oh my.
So what am I doing?
What am I
I'm
doing?
telling you, because I'll complain. I'm like anybody
No.
else. Look, I complain. And then when I realize and I hear myself, I'm like, okay, Donna, all right. So what about them makes you uncomfortable?
Mhm.
Because we're all mirrors. So what about them
Woo.
makes you uncomfortable about you?
About you. And that's what it is
Yeah.
about. And another thing I say,
Keely said, she said, I ain't attracting nobody. Jeez.
look, Kaylee, I feel like that right now too. I said, "Oh, God he truly has me hidden
He got me here talking
right now."
about he who finds a wife. Well, I ain't being found. I-
Keely, I feel you, girl. it's
Honey.
sometimes, but
And I'm gonna tell you something. Keely is a old army buddy of mine. I'm saying old like we're old. We ain't old, but
know,
she was. We were at our first duty station together in Hawaii. I
uh-huh.
didn't know you were there when I was there, but that's another conversation for another day.
You don't remember we met, cousin? That is another
Girl,
conversation.
I don't remember. I ain't. I don't remember. She said she underground. Then she ain't just hidden. She underground. So Keely.
We went on you, Keely.
So Kelly she's an army vet, Kelly. I mean Keely, I don't know if you were here earlier. So anyway, but yes, absolutely. So what is it and we don't like to, I mean, it's uncomfortable to look at ourselves. That's
Very, very
uncomfortable. I don't like it. I mean,
not.
I do it
You
because I
have to
want to
be
feel
ready
better and live better.
for that. Yeah, you have to be
Yes.
mhm,
Yes.
to it too. So
Yeah.
what I learned, that a man that's truly, this is something else I would tell a woman, a man who is truly interested in you will pursue you. If he's not willing to do that, he's not looking for a relationship with you. He may be looking for something else.
That's right. Right.
He's not necessarily looking for, because men are pursuers. So that's another thing. I'll be honest, guys, I was vain. I looked at my ego. Oh, I'm sexy to them all. But after that, what did I have? I had nothing. You
And
get caught up in your image and in your looks and thinking because you so fine and you sexy and you all this, and you can get played just like the rest of them, honey, because how you carry yourself is how you're going to be seen, period.
and so here's the thing that's interesting to me with you saying that is that I'm trying to go in here and see who this is that is making. Oh, that's Miss Toby. Hey, Toby, you Facebook user. So she says she's one of my co-authors, one of the
Oh,
co-authors
oh,
with me,
oh.
with us. And she said, I guess I'm hidden too. So
This is hidden season, guys.
so the interesting thing about that is I think about, especially in our 20s and 30s, I'll say 20s and 30s, depending on where you are. There was a part of my 20s I was all work and church. And there was a part of my 20s where I was the opposite.
Yeah, yeah.
Same thing with 30s. So what
Yeah.
I would say about that is that it's interesting to me how we spend all this time as women. We do what we're taught to do. So we spend all this time as young women, putting on what is attractive to men. Let me show some cleavage. Let me show some legs. Let me show whatever my assets are. Okay. And then when we meet them and they are all about the physical or just wanting to have sex or wanting to have why are we shocked?
Why are we shocked? Because that's what we're advertising.
Because that's what we're advertising. That's what we're advertising. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why it is such a crazy cycle. And our women are taught that way too. I mean, our young women,
I can say I did that. And, definitely, if you looked at my Facebook back a couple of years, I was half naked. I had and I'm not here to say that against anyone who chooses to do that, but I made a choice that if I was looking for a different caliber of men, even certain men won't even go in my inbox. And if they do, they're going to come a certain way. I don't have the same way that they maybe used to come that I would get.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I have definitely learned how you carry yourself and how you present yourself to a man is how he's going to see you.
That's right.
Period.
That's right. That's right.
He could say, oh, no, I'm real free spirit. I don't, I'm not into, I don't care. We all grown. That's the biggest thing. We all grown, but
we all grown.
He gonna hit it and quit it when he does a scenario like that, because again, men are hunters. So at the end of the day, you giving up the cookies like that, it ain't like it used to be. You might did that
right,
but really, but we're talking about intentionality. Again, if you're doing that, men, again, if there's nothing to pursue or they feel like they've gotten the prize, if that was their prize, then
yes,
pursue. So
yes. And I see Keely said hello to somebody else we used to be in the Army with. So we do have a male in the guest. We have a couple of males that join regularly. So I don't know where they are tonight, but if Gilchrist is still in here, definitely, we always love the man's perspective.
Love, yes.
yeah, because the thing about it is that you know how they did what was that book back in the day? Men are from Mars and women are from Venus. We are very different creatures. And I often say, God has a sense of humor because he created man and woman and expected us to become one. Lord have mercy. Many of us ain't one with ourselves.
Man, talk
so we're so different. Our outlook is different. And it is true. Men are made for the hunt and the gather. They were the hunter-gatherers, and the women bore the children, and the women still bear children. But I'm just thinking back, and even in caveman days, they bore the children, the women bore the children, and they gathered the berries and they made the whatever. So even when you talk, because you're a history buff, so even when you study, history. I'm not saying you have to play a role, but it is innate. There are certain innate tendencies. Women innately are nurturers.
Mhm.
Women innately are nurturers and are the emotional. We're in touch with our emotions,
Mhm.
you know, and men are, they're the providers, they're the protectors, they're the, so enough of that. Okay. Because I can go on, but
Right.
I'll let you, let you
About
go
that.
with that.
Because when you talk about that, I came up with, and this is in the book Broken Crown Still Color, that is available on Kindle at Amazon.com. Broken Crown Still Color, Life After. But I talked about
Put
what
it
I
in the
for now is six key things to consider when entering a relationship, and I'd love to share that.
Okay. Yes.
So the first thing I'm looking at now when I'm looking at a male, because again, we're talking about intention, and just talking about kind of gives you a guideline because you should know what you want at this point in your life. I'm a 40 something woman. Definitely at 40 something, we should know. And I won't say in my early 40s, I still was learning. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
Connected in relationships and long-term relationships. So I was coming out, I was coming wild, I was hurting. So I was really, woo, I was free.
Right. 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 Right.
Free. But everything again is a lesson or a blessing. So from the relationships that I had encountered, it was time for me to learn the things that God wanted me to learn out of those, because everything again is either a lesson or a blessing. But the first thing I'm looking at now is character. Are you honest? Are you reliable? Are you a provider and caring? So we say that this day and age, people say I don't like to judge, but at some point you have to kind of judge to make a educated decision. So I'm looking for characteristics, because I think everything begins with character. Because at the end of the day, when he and I grow old, and things done drop down and all that, I need your character to far exceed the physical. You know what I mean?
Right. That's right. That's right.
Right. So those are things that I look at now, because it's not just for the moment. I was a for the moment. I was very spontaneous, and so it's God has done some things when you if the old Kelly, like it's woo. So it was very spontaneous,
I
but just
get it.
uh, the second thing I would say is accountability. Is he accountable to self and others? You know, can he take constructive criticism? And again, these things could be flopped over to the man and what he sees in a woman, because again, character is going to far exceed anything else. It's okay to be pretty and beautiful, but what's going on the inside? The third
And you can be pretty on the outside and broken on the inside.
token, hello.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. Absolutely.
The third
I
thing.
was looking up the word character, by the way,
Oh, okay,
because I wanted. That's such a interesting word. So we'll come back.
okay.
Yeah.
The third thing I'm looking at is honesty. Can I say he's an honest person? Would he be honest to me even if it's not favorable to him? And when I say favorable to him, I mean he knows it's going to make me upset, and he may not be one to make me upset, but it's how he feels. So I'm going to respect you because you were honest, even if it didn't sound or feel good, because they're
Yeah.
always going to come at me with truth, no matter what. And I can trust you with my heart. I can trust you with things when I feel as if you'll be honest regardless.
That's right. That's right.
The fourth thing is common goals. This is something else I'm looking for, because again, I'm not into casual dating. I'm into intentional dating with desire for marriage. Okay,
Right.
so
Right.
common goals. Does he have vision? What is his vision? Does he have short and long term goals? Because I don't want someone as my head or leading me that has no vision. And because I have vision for my life, I have things that I want to do and things so the word says
Yeah.
without a vision people perish. So
Yes.
he needs vision, because keep in mind that whoever you choose for your mate, that is your head. um
Yes.
and with these things, these steps that I looked at were all things that I didn't look at before. I was caught up in the physical and feeling, so
Mhm.
so this was very impactful in my life, and it was very life changing. The fifth thing is consistency. um
Yeah.
is he the same, or do I not know what I'm going to get one from one day to the next? Do I got a Dr.
Mhm.
Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? In my book Broken Crown Still Color, I talk about how I had a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and what that roller coaster relationship looked like. Okay,
Yes.
I'm telling you, ladies, listen, look for signs, and don't.
Yep. Ty said that a moment ago. She said, "Don't overlook the red flags in the beginning." That's right.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And so for consistency, also, can he make a decision and stick with it? So if he's all over the place, a double-minded man is unstable in all his way. If he's all over the place in his personal life, you definitely know that more than likely whatever's going on the inside, it externalizes. So you're going
Yes.
to see that on the spiritual side as well. I saw
Mhm.
myself like, okay, when God began to clean things up, he was cleaning all around, because whatever is going on the inside, it's going to manifest. If there's turmoil, if there's spontaneity, we're all over the place, fly by night, you're going to see that in their personal life
Yes.
as well. um is he consistent with courting me? If he says, hey, I'll call you, I'm going to call you later on this evening, and he's interested in me, but you never hear from me. Oh yeah, I forgot.
Or he don't call you till 2 or 3 days later, and
Yeah,
well, I got tired, I fell asleep, whatever.
okay, fine.
Cause,
So I'll
cause,
talk to you
cause,
again.
let me tell you something. People take them thumbs get to moving. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with a, babe, I'm really tired tonight. I'll
You
call you tomorrow.
know, and that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, communication. And I know things come up, just being able to communicate and treat people how we want to be treated. Very.
Yes, yes. I
Um,
want to just say that Keely says, she says she also looks for what kind of role model can the man be for my son, since my son's father's not in his life. This is very important to me. Absolutely.
Very
Absolutely.
important, Keely, because, well, really, in my sixth one is sense of humor. He has to have a sense of humor. But really, before when we talk about him passing that test, he's not even meeting my my
He
children
ain't even met the he ain't even met the kids yet.
other level. Okay, that's because he done passed these other tests right here. When we talk about adding him to the family, because Keely, I totally agree. As a single mom, uh, you hear so many things, and I don't want to sound cynical, but people coming in and molesting children, the stepdad, stepmom, and again, stepdad and stepmom, and don't think your boys is safe, because it happens with both sexes. So
That's right. That's right.
it's very important, and that's when we talk again about character being number one, because
Yeah,
that.
that's what I want to. I wanted, because you had one more. I'm gonna let you get to your
No,
sixth
I
one
already said
before.
humor. I already said humor.
Oh, humor. Okay, that was number six. Hey Linda, my friend Melinda. She said my kids haven't met a man since 2008. Oh my Lord, Keely, you really underground.
Yeah, you've been
You
you
running the railroad, child. You running the underground railroad.
ain't that long, but you're a vet. I'm not quite that veteran, but I'm thankful that I got there, and I understand, because it's very important. We want our children to be covered. We do pray for them, but we also have to make wise decisions concerning them. So,
Yes,
it,
absolutely. So quickly before I read about this. So it was character. What name them?
ability, hon-
Accountability,
honesty,
honesty,
common goals,
common goals,
consistency,
consistency, and
and
humor. All right. All right. And let me ask you this. Well, let me just tell you, because I was looking up character. I don't know why. When you said that, it just kind of, so the dictionary definition is the mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual.
Mhm.
Mental and moral
Mental and moral.
qualities distinctive to an individual. So, what kind of character, what type of mental and moral qualities do you carry?
You possess,
So, I
yeah,
thought that was interesting.
Very much so.
Very, very much so. Melinda said we have to protect our children. That's right. So let me ask you this before we go to the woman to woman relationships. Um, do you have all those? Do you feel you have all those things to offer?
Can't say I have them all, and that's a good question too, which is why I'm comfortable being hidden, because I kind of feel like when you expect that, you should carry them as well. Now, one of the things that I also say that God began working on me is my character and my integrity, and so that is something that's important to me. Um, and for the most part, because I value those things, that I don't expect anything from anyone that I can't say. But to say I'm perfect, no, I'd be lying.
No, no,
Like,
but in general, you can offer what you're looking for. Those
yeah,
six things
because
that you are looking for.
you attract what you are. So,
That's
with
that was
that
what
being,
I was coming back to.
I'm feeling like if I have put in the work to do the inner work, because I was a mess. I was broken. I didn't value, I lost relationships, family and friends because of my brokenness. I didn't realize it, but at the time it was just, I was just living. But when God began to do the work on the inside of me, that was something that was important to me. You know, uh,
Yes.
be honest, regardless if it, sometimes people could probably say I'm brutally honest if you really, for those who really know me. Um, but I try to be reliable. I try to be a good friend, and I hadn't always been that person. So
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
we're about reliability, that again, it can go male and female relationships. Talk
Yes.
about, hey, if I made a mistake or I offended you, and you let me know, not try to deflect, but hey, sorry, I'm
Yes.
sorry you felt that way. Because sometimes I may not be sorry for what I said because I meant what I said, but I'm sorry that you
Yes.
were offended. You
Yes.
when we're talking about honesty, I don't want to lie to my friend, and nor do I want a friend that says that I'm a friend but they lie to me. No. uh you know
Right.
I have goals. I try to be consistent, and if I'm interested in you, you're gonna know it, because you're gonna also know it if I'm not. I, I
Right.
I'm
Because I'm not gonna waste my
yeah,
time.
20 person. Hello again, we're talking about attention.
I
And
don't have that time to waste, honestly.
I've had guys get mad at me and block me, and I just be like, I'm sorry. Would you like me to use you? Because that's not who I am. But
Mhm.
I'm going to be honest. And if I see things in you that I feel like that's not going to work, then there's no need of us dragging it out. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Yeah,
that's
because a lot of times, when we do that, we are, we are, we're allowing someone to occupy our space that's not meant to. And the person that's meant to or that God has for us, they can't see us because that space is blocked, because we're blocked.
okay.
Because we're, you know what I'm saying? We're in this relationship that we know is no good for us.
I know before there was a time where I just had to be talking to somebody. Somebody had to be in my face. I didn't care, and until, they left, I was on to the next one. So when we again talk about self-assessment, self-awareness, just being comfortable and you not feeling like you have to be a relationship, not feeling like a man has to entertain you, especially if you're not interested in him, that it's just superficial, it's fickle. He's not what you're looking for in a mate. So
That's not, you're not being fair to them and you're not being fair to you.
you're not being fair to you, because like you said, you're not making space for that person who is for you.
That's right. You got somebody else taking space. One of the things Keely said that her biggest issue is she has a hard time trusting anyone. And she
Mm.
said, I know that's my flaw, but again, that's why I'm running this underground setup. Keely is so
I'm
silly.
gonna say this, Keely. Me too, to an extent. But and I prayed about this, but you know what?
Mm,
A person needs to earn your trust. And there's nothing
that's
wrong
right.
with not trusting somebody in the beginning. Let them earn that. Because I find I was this person, and I'll be honest, people would say, oh, they're this way. And I'll be like, I believe in getting to know people for, I'm sorry, a lot of times what they said was true about somebody, and you probably could have saved yourself if you would have been a little more cautious. So you, just like and I'm gonna say this too, because if I get a man who's all ready to be all in, I'm looking at you cockeyed, because you don't know anything about me. and you can't let me. I can't believe that you're that superficial where you just ready to be my man, and say I'm ready to be your husband off of looks, because that says something.
That says something.
Everything says something, whether it be good or bad.
Right.
So
Right.
me, I want someone who's cautious, because that tells me again, we got a man who's intentional, we got a man who has integrity, and we have a man that knows what he wants. That's
Yes.
who I want to lead me. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Not
Yes.
swayed. Some women are not. They ain't moved by your chest coming out, because they done seen all the chest. They good with that's what I want, because
Right. Right.
move you. You see what I'm saying? No, no, don't get me wrong. I want my husband and my mate, whoever God sends for me. I want him to be attracted to me, but at the same time, your flesh doesn't rule you.
Right. Because there's so much more than that. I
So
mean, let's face it. The first thing we notice about somebody is their looks.
come on,
Okay. I mean, that's number one. So we know that.
yeah.
What are we projecting by the way we dress and the way we carry ourselves? And then what, so what part of you are you showing? Which you are you showing? As women.
And you're a woman, and even when you're hitting, never get to the point to where your femininity is lost. That's not
Yeah.
the goal. So
Yes.
even with me talking and saying I'm moving in purpose, because I want a purposeful man. So everybody's journey is going to look a little different,
It's gonna look different. That's right.
so again, I've heard by the men under the leadership.
Can't hear you. There you go.
Okay, you
Talk now. Yeah, I can hear you now.
men are moved by things they see, so that's going to be the initial thing on everything, even with the woman. But I
Yeah.
feel, even before you start meeting each other, talk on the phone, get to know each other a little bit more, because if you could get somebody in the mental, even a man, because men see things, you're going to see things, but if you can get that man's mental, um you have something there,
Yeah.
that's for love. So
Yes.
you want to get on the mental on both sides and get to know each other, because trust is earned. So Keela, you
Yes.
not wrong in
Well,
that.
I was gonna, I noticed, I know that for a long time in my life, I did the trust thing backwards. I trusted you until off rip until you gave me a reason not to trust you.
Me too.
And you know what? That's a hard life.
Say that, cousin. Speak
You know
that.
what I'm saying?
Man, I'm like, but Lord, I want to be the okay. Well, keep on bumping your head. You're gonna learn. He said,
Right,
guard your
right.
heart, for out of it flow the issues of life.
Yes. Say
Everything
it.
starts
Say
with
it.
the heart. When the enemy comes in like a flood, it's to get at your heart, to get your heart stony, to get you discouraged, to get you broken up, so broken up that you can't see truth,
Can't see it.
can't
Can't
see
see it. I wanted to bring, and she did say that she meant not on a continuum. So she was saying trust is not on a continuum.
it.
We don't trust our mechanic to do our hair, and
Mm,
we are definitely not going to trust him to watch our children. We trust different people with different things.
amen.
Amen to that. That
So,
is so true.
mm-hmm.
That is so true. So trust is not like this carte blanche, you know?
like that, innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, right, right. That's
So,
right. And so she says she thinks Keely said, I think I used to get on you about that back in Hawaii with your happy behind.
just smile.
Yeah. She right.
Everybody,
She right. She's right. Yeah, yeah. Keely always been behind it. She grew up in Detroit.
that
She wasn't playing them
that
games.
was smiley girl. I love
Yeah.
everybody. Love me. I was so naive, but
Wasn't we, cousin?
man, I
Weren't
learned
we,
life
cousin?
so naive. Just great, great. Just
Yes,
want to be great.
yes.
Mm.
That's what it is. Melinda said, that's right, Keely. Hush, Melinda and Keely. But it's true. That's how I was. And a lot of that had to do with things I had gone through in my life, and the way I saw the world, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
That,
and wanting
I,
to belong and to be a part of things. And so I had my own insecurities, and so the thing is that we have to realize everybody does things according to the way they have to the way they have
perceive.
mentally seen the world.
Mhm.
you
So
know
perspective is everything. You and I can look at two different things, and our answer on how we saw it is going to be based on our perspective,
yes,
what we've been through. Our experiences shape us. So true.
yes,
So
absolutely. So I want to talk just a few more minutes. I can't believe y'all gonna get off my case tonight. She said that Donna with her
that's
happy
our
behind.
cousin now. We come along.
That's right. That's right, cousin. Come on, get on them.
She's been delivered.
Girl, I'm gonna tell you something. One thing I still love to do is laugh. And
Yeah.
even now, like I'll laugh at my own jokes. And I know people look at me like, really? You said that and you laughing at it. Well, I'm worth my own humor.
It, joy and peace cannot be bought. It ain't. You can't
Amen.
fake it. And when
A
peace and joy on the inside, you can laugh about even some of the stuff that ain't laughable. They weren't meant to be laughed at, but you laugh at it.
I promise. I did that at work today. I was sitting here working and it was so ridiculously awful that I literally sat here and laughed from my belly for about 2 minutes.
Oh, that's good. That's
Because
good.
it was just, I was like, really? I was like, no,
That's good.
you know. And then, so Melinda says sometimes our upbringing in the church can be a reason we trust so easily. And yes, absolutely.
Well, and religion was a big factor, especially when we talk about um because that's a whole nother story, some things that I went through while in the church. Um
Yes,
uh,
yes,
Even when we talk about that, how you're taught certain things, and then as you grow and evolve and you truly get into a relationship with Christ, because again, I always say there's levels to things. um,
absolutely.
and just to show you, and he'll keep showing you, especially, we were brought up to, you uphold the man of God, and they can do no wrong. Well, we see that from
They can.
things going on. Yes, so people are flawed, um
Yes,
but
yes,
people are flawed, period.
yes,
uh,
yes,
uh, uh, Choices dictate our,
yes, yes,
we have to understand that. And so I let the religion go so much, and I became um a believer who began to listen to the voice of God, the Holy Spirit, to lead and guide me more so than what man says. Because when God has a call on your life,
yes,
you begin to let those little things where you feel like you got to cling to this or cling to that. And I still honor head, and I think everybody needs a head because that's what the word says.
yes,
You know,
yes.
but I also understand that we all have our own journey, and we have to fulfill our purpose.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Amen to that.
Mhm.
Amen to that. They still talking about me, cousin. So I think I'm about to wrap up here in a minute. That darn Keely and Melinda. I'll talk with y'all later because y'all tripping today. Keely talking about better late than never. It's only taking 30 years. Melinda talking about it. I'm more like 40.
They rough. They rough.
Ain't they rough? Ain't they rough?
Rough. But you know what? My friends used to laugh at me too and tell me I was just naive. I'm be like, whatever.
And
But, but
look,
I,
here's
you know what? You guys were right. You out so trusting. And I mean, if somebody told me that, told me something, I believed it because that's what they said. Why would they lie? Because who goes out their way
yeah,
to?
what do they get out of lying?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, because I don't do that. Like, who goes out their way to lie? Why are they lying when you don't have to lie to me? So I'm thinking, no, they wouldn't lie
Well, I'm
about.
gonna tell you something. That's one of the things that Rodney will say to me often. He's like, Donna, you don't have to believe everything everybody says.
But I believe that's why women are from Mars, men are from Venus. I mean, no, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. for that very, because and that's why I say again, ladies, look, I want to be married. I want
Yeah.
everything that entails that. I want to do it the right way, because he told me
Yes.
shall not inherit the kingdom, and I don't
Yes.
burn, but I want things just like every other person.
Yeah.
That comes with, and they balance you out. How you said your man balances you out by saying, "Hey, don't be too far to the left or right," because women are
Yeah.
emotional naturally. Most women, I'll say it like that. And so that's something that I battle with too. We'll get caught up in our emotions. Um, and he's letting you say, "Hey, don't get caught up on what you see," because people present things that they present what they want,
Yes.
and
Yes.
you began to look a little further that you can see beyond what they're presenting.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So, and yeah, we were created with different for his purposes in the earth. That's right.
Amen.
That's right. And Keely talking about she ain't been married since the 90s when we were
Look,
together in
I
Hawaii.
forced in '96, Keely. I ain't been married since.
See?
I got married so young.
And
I'm
I was gonna say it, naivety, we're naive when we're young. And I think that a lot of times really kind of finding that I don't want to say balance. That's not the word I'm looking for, but finding your place. You know
I,
what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
my personality is still overall, I love to laugh. I love to be silly. I love to, and I do like to trust people and I do still love to meet new people. But I realize that I can be cautious without being hard because in my mind, it was either be the way I was or be totally closed off, like I saw other people. Like,
that's good. And that's when you're first learning, like, okay, I'm too far to the left here.
that's right.
Finding that balance, because you don't want to take away who you are, because God made you who you are. He made you
Yes.
a person that open, because again, when I deal with people, I want to be able to see the best in you. I want to see what God sees. So I don't
Yes.
I thank God that I'm like that, but I'm also cautious, like, okay, you got to work up to what God is seeing in you and in some people. But
Yes.
in a way, I want what's best for you. I see the best in you, you know what I'm saying? So I can speak life, not death. But at the same time, when it comes to about who's going to be in my space and in my circle, there's certain things that I'm looking and looking at. I mean, and just
Yeah.
experience, and even
Yes.
me, because I'm growing. I don't need somebody who, if I make a mistake, you ready to run out and share all my business about what mistake I made. I need you
Or
to,
tear me down.
well, you're tearing me down anyway. Because if you're talking about my mistake, you tearing me down.
You tear me down. But you know how like people will be in your face like I told you so, or you
Yeah.
know.
Oh, tell me, hey, you were wrong, sis, in love. Because again, we're all in this thing together. We're all growing. Um,
Yes.
so it's
Yes.
important to me that I have people that I can trust around me, not that says one thing in my face and then something else. Behind.
Yes.
And again, I've been that person, so I don't want to be that person who says one
Yes.
face and another thing behind your back. Because again, like you said, everything's a mirror. So if you
Yes.
don't like that being
Yes.
done to you, then you don't do it. You don't
Yes.
talk about, then you stop running your mouth about other people. So
Right.
everything's a
Right.
reflection, and those are things that I had to learn too, because Lord knows I like
Yes.
gossip. Look, my grandma, I used to see my grandma on the phone gossip, but I thought that was a thing to do. And God began to deal with me in that area. You
Yeah.
Because you don't want your good to be evil spoken of. So you always
Yeah.
come with a pure intent and a pure heart when you're talking about that, if you're wanting to reach people. So when
Yes.
I talk about relationships, I want to reach you to let you know, hey, don't give up. Don't settle because you feel like, man, that man I'm looking for is not there. Don't lower your standards. You have them for a reason. So
Yes. Amen. Thank
have
you so much. Cause I can't believe it's 8:55. It's almost been an hour. But Melinda said that's a good observation. We have to be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove.
Amen.
And Miss Sharice agreed too. Keely said Don and I worked 8 hours together. Come home and get on the phone talking to each other for hours. We did. We did. Absolutely. Melinda and I used to spend time together like that too. You know, I met Melinda after Keely had left the island. And so, and that's the other thing. Melinda said, if we want to truly win others, we have to be wise. Amen. She's another one of the co-authors in
It,
the book.
yeah,
In the book.
it's not about us, and when we have to understand that if you're truly trying to win people and you want to get, convey the truth, you have to understand that it's not even about you. So when your purpose in God becomes more important than your own flesh and what you want all the time, what about me? What about me? Um, you know, uh,
When you can put the me aside sometimes. Because I do believe in self-care, but be
definitely
open for that purpose
be exactly. I do,
and
and
be flexible.
but if your role is to serve people, that's what I'm talking about when we're talking
Yes,
about.
yes, absolutely.
But you cannot pour from an empty cup. So yes, you are absolutely right. I totally
Absolutely.
my self-care. My kids will tell you. I tell I have my self-care rituals. That's another story.
Yeah, that's a story for another day, child, because we can talk about that. I might have to have you back on for that. So look, I want to tell people before we close, I want to tell people, and I don't know if I said it right. It's broken crayons still color.
Mhm.
Broken crayons, it's not. It's
Broken crowns, still color, life after.
okay.
Would you like me to put it in the chat?
And there's I see it on, I don't know if you can see it on the screen. It's by Stacy Bryant
Uh-huh.
and co-authors. And
Uh,
you're one of the co-authors.
yes.
So you can get that, they can get that on
You
Amazon Kindle.
Yeah, you can get it via Kindle, or if you would like to get a paperback, I have the paperbacks in stock. You would have to order through me. I'm still working on my website. It went live. It wasn't what I wanted it to be, so I'm working on it again. But
How can they reach you?
right.
If
So you can reach me on Kelly
Facebook?
Johnson on Facebook. On Instagram, I'm KJ45.
Okay.
Um, and so you can message me if you're interested in getting a paperback copy of Broken Crown Still Color. Again, that's Kelly Ellis Johnson. Kelly Kelly space Ellis Ellis space Johnson Johnsson. Or you can even go on author Kelly Ellis Johnson. I'm also on Facebook with there as well, and just message me and I'll send you order details for you to order a paperback. I'll mail it out to you and make sure you get it.
Show them the cover.
Do, 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 do.
Broken Crown Still Color. There you go. Stacy Bryan and
Right.
co-authors. All right. So there that is. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Cousin, I truly enjoyed this. Keely says she enjoyed it. And
Hey,
so
ladies, thank you.
absolutely. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm just going to leave you on there for a moment and just tell everyone that we are soon going to have a season break. We're going to have our season finale at the end of this month. And so I will let you know in the time coming, in the days coming or weeks coming, when we'll pick back up with our new season. But so we only have a couple more guests left for this season. All right. So this has truly been a blessing to me. I started this in January and I think we've only missed one Thursday since then. So,
Awesome.
but I want to tell you, if you are new on the live or if you're watching the replay, I promised you that I would tell you how you could find out more about me and about Life Destiny Solutions. You can go to my website, donnasalee.com. Don't forget those two L's and two E's. And when you're there on the website, reading about me, reading about Life Destiny Solutions, download my free guide, 5 Steps to Begin Living a Life You Truly Love. Okay. And so there are some really good steps that you can begin taking that day. Okay. And then also while you're there, go over to the right. You'll see a link for book in the top right corner. Click that and you can get the book that I am a co-author in, which
Wonderful
And
book. Yes.
Thank you, cousin. I'm breaking my silence. And so you can get that book there. You can, and while you're there, please, I'm telling you, the what's in the book is only a small portion of that chapter. If you want the whole story, and you want my chapter on steroids, download, again, purchase the the Audible. Is 2 hours. Okay, it's only $4.99, y'all. So go ahead, $3.99. Excuse me, it's only $3.99. So go ahead and purchase the Audible, and also purchase my companion workbook. It is an e-workbook that goes along with my chapter. It is a 10-week guide to gathering and healing your scattered pieces, as Scattered Pieces is the name of my chapter. Okay. So you guys, the last thing I will say with you all, I always tell you I need guests. And even though we're going to be taking a station break, a season break, I want you to still let me know if you are interested in being on the show. I would love to have you on the show. All you have to do is go to my email or send me an email at donna@donnasalee.com, donna@donnasalee.com. Let me know you'd like to be on the show. And the last thing is, if you are not already a member of the private Facebook group, Life Destiny Solutions, that's SOUL, please consider joining on Facebook. And I do post at Life Destiny Solutions on IG. I'm just not as consistent. And lately I haven't been consistent on anything because it's been, work has been a lot, y'all. We have lives, right? So I appreciate you all. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your love. And I just continue to dare to dream big and be audacious enough to live even bigger. And I will see you next Thursday. We have a great guest next Thursday as well. We have great guests every week, y'all. Y'all tell your friends and y'all come on out and share it, okay? We'll see you in a week. God bless you.